we should be live shortly. Alright, and we are live. Sick stuff. What's going on, everybody? Marikar behind the microphone once again for the round robin tourney. Yeah, so this time around I'm not gonna be the one playing, but I'm actually gonna be the one observing matches, so it should be fun to have a little bit of mix up. Already I'm seeing a quite a difficult matchup, at least in patch 1, Flame versus Inf. The reason I say it's difficult is, in general, if you're like a China that isn't against infantry and you're not infantry, then 99% of the time you'll get kited by troop crawlers. So it is quite a difficult matchup for Johnny, at least. Though knowing that both these players are pretty good, it depends. He could like turn it around through pure skill. There's definitely some matchups where he can do that, like Cyber versus any US with Humvees. If you outplay your opponent, you can very easily just win the game off of that. Let's see barracks coming out from Predator over here. I like this build mainly because this map has quite a lot of tech buildings to capture. You have 2 oils on the left hand side, oil and oil refinery on the right hand side, next to the cliff and the supplies. Oh yeah, by the way, this is also a map I made, but props to Adrian and Predator for improving upon it visually. It looks way better than the initial draft for the Contra map pack, at least. Yeah, see a lot of minigunners right now, 5 to be exact. With the veterancy upgrade, that's pretty standard for Inf, nothing unusual.
Let's pick up some goods.
It looks like he's not actually gonna go for a war factory early on. He just committed to like an insane amount of infantry. I don't know if I agree with this build, since as soon as Flame gets a dragon tank, he's just gonna... The main thing Johnny wants to do is like burn down these tech buildings as soon as like he builds a dragon. But what Pred wants to do instead is he wants to defend those, so he could have either sent a dozer like this right now with a jammer trooper, so if you put a bunker you can protect your tech building while you have the jammer trooper to disable a dragon. Or he can go for a war factory with AT crawlers, which I like the AT crawler option better, since it's more reliable and you can threaten Flame immediately. See, we got the oil cap and the refinery cap. He's just capping everything at once. To be honest, I feel like this minigunner is kind of redundant, just because you can send your safe oil minigunner to cap it, but whatever. Now we got the war factor almost up. War factor's already down for Johnny with the dragon tank. He went for the flame GP. I really like that because you're going to be building a lot of dragon tanks in this matchup to tank the infantry. Anyways, so you need everything you can offer. This is a very good deny very early on. This is going to give Johnny a lot of experience. Like 1 oil worth of experience is almost on the level of command centers. It's very, very, like, that's the big problem with like these sorts of big maps. You can get punished really easily by these caps. Because if you don't have a way to defend the caps, and Pred went this greedy 3rd supply, he's basically effectively fed Johnny rank 2 for free. Yeah, this is kind of like not that great, but Pred has a lot of money to work with, so if he can make something with the money now, then he'll be fine. Quite laggy. That's unfortunate. I'm not sure why it's lagging this much. Usually I don't lag with either of these players. Last time I played, well, Johnny sometimes I lag with. Like, this just happens in general. Pred, I know like my connection with him is pretty stable. Yeah, the bunker's getting denied over here on the left hand side. Meanwhile, the AT crawler over here just killed the dragon on the right. But Johnny's not paying attention to this dragon tank. He could have killed the supply at this point. Okay, now he's gonna kill the supply. He has napalm, so that's 100% dead. Yeah, and the AT crawler's not even responding, so he could lose even the refinery. I mean the reinforcement pad. Yeah, he was a bit too slow with the dragon, but yeah, this was. I don't think he should have gone for it. He should have at least attempted the reinforcement pad. It's a very fragile building. Let me lower the music. Let's see what's going on in chat real quick. Looks a bit stuttery to me. Garrisons are kind of useless against flames. No, that's a misconception. Just because you have a really strong dragon tank doesn't mean you're only going to build those. You still want them for tanks, because at the end of the day, the dragon tank is not killing the AT crawlers. It's these battle masters, as you see right now. But yeah, these fire ports are going to shred through this. Yeah, he's going to just evac and kill the rest of the army. That was good micro there. And Pred is just massing out a bunch of crawlers. He's gonna do one massive push into the base, and as soon as all the dragons are dead, as well as the vortex, the tanks, he can just evac his tank hunters and attack them. Nice micro there from Johnny. Keeps his battle master alive, and he's gonna kill 2 heroic tank hunters. It's quite a lot of XP. I have a feeling Johnny's actually very close to rank 3 at this point, because he's already killed a supply, 2 oils. He hasn't killed the refinery, but he's killed quite a few units and important tech buildings. If Johnny gets like a really early rank 3, then Inf might be in a really bad spot. Just because he doesn't really have a way to deal with the flame artillery until like maybe Helix. And even mobile barracks is pretty unreliable. So if this goes long, I expect Johnny to win this. But yeah, I don't know how Johnny's gonna deal with this army. Like 3 of these are loaded with tank hunters. Oh, there's another 3 coming in with tank hunters. Yeah, this is the hard part about the matchup, because you have to deal with both safe infantry, so you can't use your dragons or vortex to kill them. But you also need to use the battle masters and tank hunters, and as you can see, it's very easy to mop them up with MG crawler and AT crawler respectively. Yeah, this is a bit of sloppy marker, but it's whatever. At this point, Pred is like pretty far ahead, I think. Oh, actually, never mind. I spoke too soon. He has 2 dragons. This AT crawler is definitely not enough. 2 dragons can 100% threaten an AT crawler. Yeah, but the problem now is he has this massive army in front of his war factory. He doesn't have a way to really deal with it. Maybe if Johnny gets rank 3 and he does like a drop in his base, he can probably defend. And if he defends with that, he can probably stall to Lotus and bunker down. Because he's done a good job harassing so far. Like, he killed the oils in the refinery. He just needs to defend. Just a crawler to mines. Unfortunate. Let's see. This is a nice transition from Pred. Sees like that Johnny is just spamming out tank hunters like this. He's just gonna send dragon tanks to snipe them, or even snipe the supply truck and dozer. He has multiple targets before. He's floating 10k. Meanwhile, Johnny is 4k. Yeah, Johnny should have, at this point, Johnny should have already started the second war factory scaffold. He can't fight this on a 1 war factory. There's no way he fights back with a 1 war factory.
China's tank division.
More RPG crawlers from the side. Just massacring these battle masters. This dragon might die if he has retaliate on. Looks like he does, but nah, he backs away in time. Good micro. Yeah, okay. He at least is starting to build a war factory, but it might be too late. And I think that's Pred's. Yeah, that's Pred's already strike. Yeah, this is looking. Yeah, this looks over. I don't see how Johnny wins this at this point. He did drop like a couple of units in his base. Looks like it's maybe a rank 1 drop. But if he just spams a couple AT crawlers and like a tank hunter from all his production buildings right now, he should be fine. Yeah, and the minigunners are coming in to kill the tank hunters too. Yeah, Inf is insanely strong in China matchups. It's just very difficult for other Chinas to compete. At least in the rank 1. Rank 3 it's not as bad.
China's tank division.
only one jammer troop. You can't even shut down the AT crawler. And yeah. Oh, he killed the command center. I think yeah, Pred might have not been paying attention to that. He's floating 12k. I think he has another dozer. Yeah, he does. He's fine. He has dozers on opposite side. There's no way Johnny beats him in a base race. There's too many buildings to deal with. The AT crawler, I think, should be enough. If he moves out of flame mode, it should be more than enough to kill the dragon. Meanwhile, yeah, Johnny's losing his entire base. I don't know how many buildings he has left. Yeah, he only has this dozer left, and this is gonna be the last scaffold after this barracks goes down. Goes the dragon. Johnny's placing scaffolds in Pred's base. Okay. Yeah, I don't see Johnny winning this, honestly. I think this is kind of stalling. Like, he only has 3 units. There's no way he's gonna win with these 3 units. 2 Vortex tanks and a Battle Master. Like, that is literally not enough to, like, even fight one loaded crawler. Got some tank hunters being spammed out. Yeah, with the veterancy, they survive one shot as well. So, yeah, that's 2 of the 3 units. I don't know where his last unit is. Johnny pretty much has no cash, and he's gonna call it GG right now. Yeah, and that's GG for Johnny. Damn. I mean, not for Johnny, for Pred, sorry. So Pred is up now 1-0. Yeah, that kind of went as expected, that matchup. Yeah, let's see. Should make red guard to counter in for flame launchers. Yeah, it's pretty good. You can flame, don't have ECM though. I mean, ECM, even ECM is useless. Like, the ECM tank in general is pretty weak. The only time you really want to use it is maybe against air and what's it called? Cyber to disable the drones. But otherwise, like, I would, for example, I'd never build the ECM on tank. I'd just wait until rank 3 to get Banshees. Banshees are a million times better than an ECM tank. Like, they're so weak in comparison. So we're gonna be playing mirror matchup now. I mean reverse matchup, since whenever you play a non-mirror game, you have to do a faction swap. So now it's Pred on the flame, and it's gonna be Johnny as the infantry general. So I like Johnny's build last game, where he just kind of went with a dragon tank and started hunting down the oils, because it's a very predictable build that Info usually go for on a map like this, since barracks is very convenient for them to get early on. Although this time around I would like to see Johnny like defend his, what's it called, oils, because unlike Pred, he kind of didn't go on the defense, and it looks like Pred's gonna try and contest the rifle infantry war. It's okay because you have flamethrowers, but you're playing a risky game, because whenever you try to contest rifle infantry, and both generals have good rifle infantry, like let's say you're demo and stealth, then you're just kind of playing a coin toss at that point about who's gonna get the lead up. I usually don't like playing that sort of greedy game. Looks like Johnny went for a 3rd dozer. I think he might bunker rush. Yeah, I think this dozer is gonna go forward. This one's gonna go for a supply. He's gonna try and rush a bunker maybe, but I don't see the point of rushing a bunker. It seems a bit unnecessary. A lot of flamethrowers out for Pred. Kind of like this actually. He's going for the exact same thing he did last game, except as flame. And the flamethrowers, they do pack a punch, and the best thing about flamethrowers as well on the map like this is, if the minigunners try to garrison this, then although he could just evac, and it'll go to critical health, so at least the flamethrower can't evac it, but these central buildings, he can easily just contest garrison wars early on, if it boils down to that. This flamethrower is dead. Yeah, he went too deep. The flamethrower has, I think, almost the same or lower range compared to the minigunner. So you gotta be really careful. If he attacks with garrison now, he could kill a machine gunner. Yeah, there's one down. He's probably gonna lose the tank hunter as well. Ah, Pred needs to micro. Yeah, garrisons, the way they work is you don't fire automatically at the full range. You have to manually select, specifically for some garrisons. That's just a 0-hour bug in general. Got a forward bunker coming out from what's it called, Johnny. A bit of mismicro there from Pred, losing that trooper. He's gonna start the caps on 2 oils. Meanwhile, is Johnny going for oils? Ah, he has capture, but he doesn't have a minigunner set up at this point. This is I don't like this build from Johnny. This is the exact. This is very similar to the last build Pred tried. Like, I don't like the build because this is unnecessarily greedy. Like, you can go for greed with oils, but oils and supply is extremely greedy in the early game. Because you basically have no aggression at all. And if your opponent builds like a war factory at a regular time, and he sends a unit to harass your supplies, like a dragon, like what does Pred have right now that can deal with a what's it called, dragon tank before he gets war factory up? And it's a infantry dragon tank too, so it's very quick, so it can kite jammer troopers too. That's nice pick off there from Pred. Pred shouldn't fight. All right, nice. He goes for the garrison. Smart play, smart play. Because now if he focuses, he can auto lock onto this rifle infantry. Fortunately, he doesn't, but it's just gonna be a little annoying because now he has to send a battle master here to deal with this infantry to crush it. Yeah, we got the refinery. I mean, not the refinery. The reinforcement pad and the oil captured on the left-hand side for Johnny. Meanwhile, Pred's going for a on oil refinery over here, as well as the supply. He also has this oil. Yeah, I don't know. Jammer Trooper early on like this is kind of strange, especially since you have a much later war factory. And yeah, Pred's doing the right thing right now. He's bunkering down like crazy. Because the idea behind this matchup is, if infantry has to play this beyond rank 1, and the other China is not severely disadvantaged at that point, then it becomes very hard for Inf, because Inf has very few reliable counters to like some of the flame units. As I mentioned earlier, the flame artillery is super hard to deal with, as well as even the MiGs. The MiGs are super deadly, especially from flame general, since they start with napalm, and they easily kill the troop crawlers without the armor. This upgrade from Propson. Yeah, I like what Pred's doing. He's just picking off these small buildings and just to try and build up an XP lead. This reinforcement pad. The front crawler is empty, but these 2 back ones are loaded. This is the one with the jammer troopers, so he's gonna get disabled here. Ah, nice, nice. Perfect timing for the reinforcement pad. Drops a batch of 2 AT crawlers and 1 MG crawler. Got a small army over here. Honestly, I think Pred should just try and look towards harassing the main base, whether it be going for the power or straight for the ore factory. Because right now he should identify that Johnny does not. There's no way Johnny has a massive army at his base if he has a massive army here. You need to make that deduction like immediately as soon as you see that. Johnny is floating 9k and Pred's also floating 10k. Yeah, not the greatest macro game at the moment, but it's probably just because they're focusing on microing their armies. Pred does come out on top here, and all he really needs to do is send some more RPGs with this, and he can push through this flank. Yeah, Pred might actually win this 2-0. This dragon tank is like potentially a game ender. Actually, he could end the game with the dragon straight up. If he goes for the supply now, what he should do? No, this is a bad. No, this is a horrible play. What he should have done, in my opinion, was suicided Battlemasters straight onto these tank hunters and the crawler to just try and crush everything and also kill the crawler, and let the dragon kill everything. It doesn't matter if you have these Battlemasters in the base. The dragon does so much more DPS with napalm. Meanwhile, Johnny's losing an army on the left-hand side over here. He lost a lot of troops. Yeah, this is actually looking very favorable for Pred right now. Ah, that's a dragon tank. If he doesn't have a unit come out in the next 5 seconds from this war factory, both of these buildings are dead. Actually, all three. Yeah, Pred at this point should be very close to rank 3. Oh, this is obscene. Pred's going for a super forward war factory. I don't think that's necessary just because, yeah. Alright, nice. He canceled the scaffold because he got the 2k back. Okay. That's actually kind of an okay play. I was gonna say go into firewall mode, just at least scout the lines, but he's firing a stream which will auto kill any infantry coming out. Okay. I think he can save the dragon. Yeah, he saves it. Yeah, these buildings are null at this point. Yeah, I think Pred won this. Johnny is not gonna be able to keep up with the spam. He's still only on 1 war factory now in his base. Yeah, he needed to transition way quicker to like high eco production. Like if you're on 3 supplies, you should at least have 3 war factories, because you're definitely gonna float with on 2 war factories only. Yeah, he's gonna lose this oil now, and I wouldn't be surprised if I hear artillery strike coming very soon. See the ox moving around in fear as the oil blew up. Very scared ox. Supply truck's just going down there. Couple jammer troopers as well as a tank hunter and machine gunner. But yeah, I don't know how Johnny's gonna defend this. 100% the CC is going down no matter what. Machine gunners are sniping a couple tank hunters, which is pretty nice. Keep trading XP. At this point, Pred already has the XP lead, so he doesn't need to get like 100% better trades. He can just trade evenly. And yeah, Johnny calls it GG. Yeah, we'll play to Pred there. 2-0ing Johnny. This was definitely not an easy matchup as well for the Flame General, so a lot of tenacity there coming from Predator. That's the set. 2-0 to Pred. It's pretty good. Yeah, Inf has the advantage in the matchup, Hazama. With the upgrade Nizi, they get the, what's it called, thing where they have the AoE ECM. That's another reason why they're super good. What is this game? This is Generals, yes, but it's a mod for Generals. It's Contra 09 Final. This is patch 1. Tank gets ECM at rank 1. Flame and Inf get ECM at rank 3. Nuke doesn't have ECM. But ECM tanks in general are pretty weak. It's very matchup specific. Like, there isn't really much. The reason, like, you go for multiple dragons, Hazama, is because the flame walls do stack damage. So, like, it's just nice to do obscene amounts of DPS very quickly. It's not that bad to build multiple dragon tanks. I'm gonna see if any of these guys are interested to play some games on stream, but I'm not sure. Doesn't look like it. Maybe I can get a tournament game actually for myself. Let me ask a couple people. Might split the stream, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be playing tournaments. Just gonna see someone's responding. Looks like that guy is not available. It's unfortunate. Hmm. I'll give it like a minute. If nobody responds, I'll probably end the stream. Yeah, it doesn't look like anyone's gonna be responding anytime soon. Alright, I'll end the stream for now. Thanks, guys, for watching the live games. Nice turn up. 10 people, that's pretty nice. 10 people on their monitors or mobile devices decided to watch the stream. It's always very nice to have that feeling that people are interested. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys another day, or maybe early today if I get more, later today if I get more games. Alright, take care.